Hello and welcome to the jungle garden in Denmark. Now it's finally beginning to look like real spring with some decent temperatures. But there are lots of plants that didn't survive this winter. It has been brutal. We've had minus 11 degrees for more than one night. We had several weeks with minus 6, minus 8 in a row. We've had storms, rain, and it's just been a very hard winter for the plants. I've now started to cut off the dead branches and leaves of the survivors, and then I have to remove all the dead ones. I haven't finished at all, but I have started. As you can see, the Trachycarpus fortunii are looking good. All of our Trachycarpus have survived as far as we can see. This winter we decided to protect the middle shoots, the new shoot in the middle, with straw, and apparently that has done the trick, because so far none of them has shown any sign of spear pole or anything. And the Butias, Butia capitata, as you can see here in the front, they look as they have survived all as well. This year we have experimented with new kinds of winter protection, and it looks like the polystyrene barrel or cylinder, whatever we call it, works, because all our Butias have survived, and they're only hardy to minus 6, and we have lost them in earlier winters at minus 4. So it looks like that's the way to go. So if we start at the beginning of the garden in the bamboo corner, well, of course they have all survived, but even they have been burnt by that icy wind we've had. But down here we have a Schefflera taiwaniana, which has survived and is looking really good. It's not so big yet, and it was protected with a polystyrene barrel without the bottom. We had cut that off, and apparently that has worked very well. Then next to it we have our biggest tree fern, and we're very anxious to see if that had survived, and it looks like it, because when you look into the crown you can see lots of new crosses on the way. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there are lots down there, so hopefully that has survived too. But it too was protected with a polystyrene cylinder. We found out that pulling the polystyrene cylinder over the top of the tree fern broke all the leaves, so that's not the way to do it. We have then cut it in half on the longest side, so we've got the two halves, and we just put them around the trunk and connect them with some string, and that has worked, it looks like. And it also had a heat cable around the trunk near the ground. Then we have Gunnera manicata, and thank God that has survived as well, because it was so hard to find. It has taken me several years to find one, but it's looking good and pushing out new leaves. All the Phormiums have taken a beating. This is Phormium tenax vigata, and that is the one that we have found to be most hardy in our garden, but even them have taken really good hiding this winter. It has survived, but it doesn't look very nice, and nor does its neighbor over here. And the further further down in the garden we have one that is completely gone. The same with the new eucalyptus trees we planted last year. Well, they don't look too good. They are completely dead. And unfortunately, it's all three of them. There's another one here. That one is dead as well. And then we have the little one with the blue leaves in the back. And for a short time I thought that had survived, but it doesn't look like it. I don't know yet, but I don't think so. We also experimented a little with our banana protection this year. And well, some of them have survived. Not very many have survived, these ones, but they're further down in the garden from the wind. And has probably been sheltered from that little bamboo hedge we made last year. But as you can see, it is actually putting out a new shoot up there in the top. And so is the neighbor also putting out a new shoot. But the last one here is gone. It might, and probably will, shoot from the root again, but we'll just have to wait and see. And here is one of our Cordylines, Cordyline Australia, which very clearly hasn't made it. I'm not sure any of our Cordylines have made it. Perhaps the one in the New Zealand bed, but the others don't look too good. And neither do these, or nor do these banana plants. You see, there's one here, no sign of life at all, and not on that one either. And then there's a third one here, just as dead as the others. They probably will shoot from the root again, but we'll have to see. But then we've got some nice little red shoots coming up here. As you can see, the name on the sign has blown off. So I don't know really what it is, but I guess it's Cucumis burgundy something, I think. Last year we raised the bed, we put up these boards and we put plastic on so that they wouldn't rot. But as you can see, the soil has settled a lot. So the boards are now very clearly visible. So we have to put on some more of the soil to cover that up. All the Tetrapanax steroidal giants look like this. The stems are quite squishy, so and you can see the growing points are gone. So that'll probably shoot from the root again, as it has done before. I don't think they'll ever be very tall because they get cut down every winter. And here next to it is a Fatsia japonica, which normally is fairly hardy, but that has taken a beating as well. I haven't yet cut off all the dead stuff, and once that's done they look a bit better, but it's not really nice to look at the moment. Here are two Cordyline australis, both looking miserable. The center point, the growth point, is gone on both of them, and I've cut off all the brown leaves, but I don't think it's going to make it. Then we have our Euphorbia stygiana, and that has completely gone as well, but it is sending out new shoots, so I still have hope for it. Here is another Phormium variegata, and there is some green on it, but it doesn't look too good. So I don't know if it has survived or not. Right next to it is a banana plant, which clearly hasn't survived. It might shoot from the root again, we'll just have to wait and see. There are two other banana plants in here, and they look the same. And then in the background we have a Fatsia japonica, oops, the other way, which clearly hasn't survived, which is surprising because normally they do bounce back, but I'm not sure that one is going to. And even the loquat tree, which normally just takes everything, copes with everything a Danish winter can throw at it, even that has taken a beating. It has almost toppled over in one of those storms, as you can see. It's on an angle now, and I think I'm going to move it. I don't want to have it right here where the wind is at its worst. And here is another Cordyline australis, looking really miserable. I'm pretty sure it hasn't made it. But in the back you can see a Butia capitata. I still haven't put or taken off that net we used to sort of collect the leaves around the middle shoot. But that too had a polystyrene cylinder around it, and it looks like that's the way to go. In front of it is a Fatsia japonica, which clearly hasn't made it. It has been a tough winter. But the Phyllostachys aureosulcata, Aureocaulis, is still looking fantastic with its bright yellow stems. Nothing seems to bother that. This is the biggest Fatsia japonica I've got, and as you can see, it looks quite miserable. I haven't cut off the dead stuff yet. That will make it look a bit better. Next to it we've got some more dead bananas. They probably will shoot from the root. We'll just have to wait and see. And then we've got the Fatsia japonica spider's web, which has done better, but it is more sheltered where it is growing. Manihot grahamii. Whether it has survived or not, I don't know. It looked like that when I bought it. You can still see the old stem, which is the short one, and then it came up from the root again last year, but so it might do that again. And in the back we've got some more dead bananas, and there's not really any point in keep on showing dead banana plants. As you can see, the garden has taken a beating this winter. We'll have to see how much has actually survived. The Trachycarpus palm trees are still looking really good, so I might just plant more of them instead. And here you see how our old cat Cocktail and a pheasant can enjoy each other's company. Here is the New Zealand bed, and this Cordyline is the best looking one of them all here in the garden. But if it has survived, I don't know, because the middle shoot is not looking very well, so we'll just have to wait and see. The tree fern here next to it is putting out new growths. There are some knuckles down in the middle, so I think it must have survived. It was also protected with a polystyrene barrel and with no lid on, and a heat cable. As you can see, I haven't finished unwrapping all of the plants. Then we have a Stelia silver spear, and I thought it had died, but now it's actually putting up some new green shoots, so perhaps it has survived. The plant next to it, I can't remember what it's called, because that was planted in 2019 and then it was gone in 2020 during the winter. But apparently it hadn't gone, because here it is, bigger than ever. It's quite funny. But then we have a Phormium, which has completely gone. It is one of the striped types, because I can't find the green one that you see in the nature in New Zealand. I can't find it anywhere. And these striped types are not as hardy, as you can see. And behind it there's a hebe. It looks really dead, but it has got green shoots now. It's not very pretty. Here is the Australian bed, and this is the oldest eucalyptus tree we've got. It's been in the ground since 2019. When you look at it, you can clearly see from which direction the wind has been coming. I'm facing north at the moment, so all the leaves facing south or southwest, where the winds normally come from here, they are completely browned off. It has been a very windy winter, but because I've dug up all the callistemons and the banksia and the grevillea, there's nothing else in this bed that has suffered. So that looked like it was a good decision. The fish has woken up from their hibernation and are very active now that the water is getting warmer. And it doesn't look like we've lost any this winter. Sometimes they get sick during the winter. And that is all for now. I hope the next one could be a bit more positive. Well, it's not all doom and gloom. We have plants that have survived that hasn't survived before, because we found new ways to protect them. And we just have to think out new ways to protect the others as well. Thanks for watching.